He's getting in the paint. He's creating for others. And when he's not scoring, he's rebounding. He's on the defensive end. He's getting steals. And, he's just starting.
All right, we have Coach Van Gundy. Jen, you can get going.
Hi, Coach. What a painful loss. Your guys battled so hard tonight. I would imagine there are some teaching moments here you'll be going over post-game and tomorrow.
Yeah, the main one was me. I screwed that up. All we had to do was get a timeout when we were struggling with the press, and we'd advance the ball up the floor, and we'd probably end up winning the game. So that one's on me.
Coach, turnovers popped up at just the wrong time and overtime in that second half for you.
You guys mute your line. All right, go ahead, Jen.
Sorry, Coach, turnovers, just the wrong time. How do you correct those?
If you can't get them muted, if the line's muted, I'm not going to hear background. I'm having trouble hearing stuff.
Sorry, Coach, that might be me with several post-game things going on. I was asking about turnovers. They popped up at just the wrong time in that second half in OT. How do you correct those?
We just got to get better with the ball. I mean, it's been a major problem for 2 years here now. We have some games where we take care of the ball. When we do, we play well and we win. And when we don't, we struggle. But I mean, a lot of that is just individual guys making better plays and being more solid with the ball. They were very physical tonight, a lot of grabbing and holding, and we've got to play a lot stronger.
Coach, in the overtime, how do you just kind of regather the troops and get them? Because, again, you get a 6-point lead with 30 seconds left, and all of a sudden you're in overtime.
Well, because we didn't handle the pressure and I didn't take a timeout. That's why. Our guys handled overtime fine, though, as far as playing. There was no letdown. And listen, we haven't had an emotional letdown, a lack of resilience, none of that. We've given away leads and come back and played. We did it tonight in the overtime. That was not a problem. Turnovers, they made shots. We had some defensive breakdowns. We didn't handle their pressure at the end of regulation, but nothing emotional, nobody hanging their heads. That did not go on at all tonight.
Coach, defensively, it seemed like there were just a few situations in the second half where they were able to get into the heart of your defense and convert some layups. That had obviously been the emphasis so far this season. You've done a great job. What happened tonight? Were there breakdowns of communication or late rotations? What was it?
Well, they hit some threes, and that's what happens when you haven't been together a long time and you don't buy in. And so they hit some threes. And so some guys didn't pull in and take drives away. And the thing is, it doesn't help you on the threes anyway, because now the guy's downhill. It's either a layup or you come and help, and they're kicking it out and getting corner threes. Obviously, we were at about 36 points a game in the paint through the first 5, 48 and 50 in the last 2 games. That's the problem. And then we'll go back and look and see how many of those 19 threes came from the ball being down in the heart of the defense. We have got to keep the ball out of the paint.
Hey, Stan, Christian Clark with NOLA.com. What did you just think about the looks that Brandon got specifically down the stretch in that game? Did you like them?
What I didn't like, but it's understandable, is we're trying to catch our breath. So we were going into a short clock all the time, and he was having to take difficult shots. I really wanted to push the ball up the floor, but listen, when you're in an overtime game and you've left guys out there a long time and they've played 39, 40 minutes, that's hard to do. So, yeah, we did not get the shots I would have liked to have gotten, but nobody's fault but mine on that.
What's up, Coach? This is Will from The Athletic. Can you walk us through the decision of leaving Zion on the bench to start OT? And do you think maybe you left him over there a little bit too long?
I wanted to bring him back in, Will, at the 3-minute mark. He'd been out there a long time. He was gassed, I thought. And then I had him at the bench, and I probably should have called a timeout to get him back in because I had him at the bench at 2:50, something like that. And then the clock kept running down, so he got in too late. A lot of bad game coaching decisions by me tonight.
Scott Kushner with NOLA.com. Christian and Will kind of took my questions there, but just overall, the last 2 minutes, your offense doesn't seem to be looking the way that it looks kind of the rest of the game. Is that by design? Is that a flaw that's kind of popping up? And where do you kind of see this going moving forward?
Well, listen, I think that we've got to get more movement late in the game. I think that, we were just riding Brandon and it was going well, and we probably rode it out too long, just needing one score in regulation and then back and forth in the overtime. So, we should have run some different stuff and gotten more movement. I think that's a fair criticism of what's going on. But, we're trying to get the ball in our best players' hands and play out of it. He didn't really have the juice left to penetrate and get to the rim. So he had to rely on the pull-up, which he's good at. But again, we saw it San Antonio game. We ride him so hard, and then he sort of runs out of gas. We should have done something a little different.
Coach, second chance points have been such a key for you in the first half. In the second half, there were just a number of possessions where you did get those second and third opportunities to score and just couldn't close those out. Was fatigue any part of that?
I don't know. We've been actually having a problem with that, David. If you look, I didn't look after last night's games, but after our last game, I think we were second or third in the league in offensive rebound percentage, but only 10th in the league in second chance points. So we have not really been very good converting. And so hopefully that'll improve because guys are working really, really hard.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
All right, we have Steven Adams joining us. Christian, you can go ahead.
Hey, Steven, Christian Clark with NOLA.com. What do you think just happened offensively there down the stretch in overtime? I mean, what do you feel like, was going on in that end?
Just tough to say, bro. But maybe it might have been one of those things how we're kind of up and you just try and survive, which is not the right mentality to have on offense, right? You still got to be safe but still aggressive, right? So, yeah. But again, I know there's going to be a lot of focus on like the end part and shit like that, like the turnover and all that sort of shit. But there's all the stuff before the game, like at the first half, those all have the same value, right? They were getting to the paint. I mean, just getting what they want. Like all those have lead us to the end as well, So, yes.
What's up, Steven? This is Will from The Athletic. What do you think you guys have to do to kind of help BI in these late game moments? It seems like a few different times you guys have talked about a lot being on his shoulders in these late game situations, as well as tonight.
Can you repeat it, bro? I didn't hear you.
I said, what do you guys have to do to help BI in some of these late game situations? It seems like a lot is on his shoulders in some of these close late game situations.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes out to like executing our plays properly for him, man. You know what I mean? And comes to spacing, but it's also the right play needs to be played. Need to read the defense and make an adjustment from there. Because it may seem like as a viewer, it's like, oh, just catch the ball and then just go at it. Like it's not like that. We have to really try to make some sort of kind of smoke screen action to kind of shift the defense away from him, so the focus is not on him, and then bring him back or something. You know what I mean? But I think for the most part, we just got to just execute those plays a bit more efficient. I didn't set screens too well for him, right? Just from memory, could have tried to crack Brogdon a bit harder, free him up a bit more. Whole bunch of stuff, mate.
Steven, this is David Grubb from thebirdrights.com. There was Indiana seemed like it was one of the most disciplined teams you guys have faced offensively this season. They didn't turn the ball over. You guys have done such a great job of forcing turnovers with your opponents. What was it that Indiana was able to do tonight to get such clean looks? And then also, why were they able to get into the heart of the defense so consistently this evening?
Again, man, they're a really good team. Disciplined. They move the ball from side to side. Whenever you could shift the defense constantly, it leaves more room for mistakes. And it's not even like a big mistake, but they do add up, right? From the start of the play, say you're behind a step, then you move it on to the other guy, then he's behind like a step and a half. Like that's what they do really well, just constantly bing, 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 right? Back and forth. So that's how they were able to like get downhill. The guards were aggressive, the bigs were aggressive. So yeah, tough team, mate, but it's all good, mate. We're right there.
Hey, Christian Clark, just one more time. As far as the turnover issues, Stan said that when you guys are able to take care of the ball, like it just seems like it results in a win most of the time. I mean, do you feel like when the turnovers occur, are they unforced errors, or like are they occurring because there just isn't that rhythm yet on the offensive end because we're so early in the season?
All the above, mate. All the above. A lot of there's something I could say that is rhythm. Just got to get used to figuring out what kind of passes are coming, and then what type of passes are open. But yeah, again, it's a two-man thing, man. It ain't so much just on the passer necessarily. It's more on the dude receiving the pass, mostly. So yeah, man, got to figure that part out, which we will, man. It's all good. Yeah, we're getting there. You got to take some of these risks with these passes, right? To kind of just figure each other out. So,
We're all set. Thank you, Steven.
Sure.
Go ahead, Christian.
Hey, Zion, Christian Clark with NOLA.com. Turnovers, team-wide were an issue in this game. As far as the turnovers issues go, I mean, do you feel like they're the result of just unforced mistakes? Do you feel like, it's so early in the season, you guys just aren't all the way on the same page offensively?
I think we're just not fully on the same page. They're self-forced turnovers. Like, we're forcing them on ourselves, and they'll come with time. We'll get better with time.
And I mean, just to follow up on that real quick, I mean, how would you just describe, like the rhythm on the offensive end right now? Where is that at this very early point in the season?
Honestly, I don't know if I can give a good answer on that because we're only like 5 or 6 games in. I feel like you come back at game 12 and ask that question, I'll be able to give you a better answer. So you can hold me to that.
Zion, this is David Grove from the Bird Rights. Tonight, defensively, was just very against type for what the Pelicans have done in the first 6 games. Indiana shot the ball well from everywhere, and they were also able to get into the paint relatively easily. How difficult of a matchup was this for you guys compared to what you've seen so far, and just their discipline and the way that they attacked you? What problems did it present?
Indiana's a great team. Hats off to them for getting the win tonight. But for us, we'll try to find a positive out of it. The positive of it is, they hit, like you said, they hit shots all over the place, and they won off a big shot by Malcolm Brogdon. So, positive side for looking at that is if we can stop some of those shots, we get the win. So we just got to keep improving on that.
What's up, Zion? This is Will from The Athletic. Do you think in some of these late game situations you guys are leaning on BI a little too much? And what can you do to kind of take some of the pressure off of his shoulders?
They feel like, BI's works for that. We trust him. The team, me as a teammate, the rest of the team, the coaches, we all trust him to go out there and do his thing. Unless BI comes to us and says, hey, fellas, it's too much, then we trust BI with that.
Hey, Zion, Scott Kushner with NOLA.com. What was your reaction to not you're standing at the scorers table trying to get in overtime there and watching kind of the game go back and forth? What's your reaction not being on the floor in those minutes as time kind of ticked away?
It's a little tough. I can't lie. But at the end of the day, I'm cheering on my teammates. I want them to go out there, compete, and get the win. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win tonight, but we got a lot more games in the season.
Hi, Zion. This is Ollie with the Bird Rights. Could you talk us through the last play or the last dunk attempt you had in the final minute of the game? Would you say this is one of the more physical games that you ever played in the NBA?
I don't know if it's one of the more physical games, but Indiana was very physical tonight. And about that dunk attempt, I just missed. I got to finish those. That's all it is.
Thanks, Zion.
What's up, Zion? This is Will again. Coach mentioned the last 2 games you guys have slipped a little bit as far as protecting the paint compared to where you were those first few games. Just what do you think you got to do to improve in that area?
Just got to pull in. We got to make the right rotations, pull in, and communicate. It's like I said, a few games ago, this is our job. We got to communicate, and we got to do it if we want to win.
All right, we're all set. Thanks, Zion. All right, we have Brandon Ingram. David, you can kick us off.
Brandon, this is David with the Bird Rights. This team has wanted to establish itself with a defensive identity tonight. That kind of there were some struggles there, obviously, with Indiana able to get a lot of the looks that they wanted. What was the challenge in dealing with the Pacers, and why were they able to be so effective on the offensive end against you tonight?
Well, they continue. They continue that pressure. I think down the stretch they made some plays off of some of our mistakes. Oladipo had 3 at the end of the game on me. Miles Turner hit a 3 at the end of the game on a missed rotation. So I think they were just able to make a few more plays down the stretch and ultimately win the basketball game.
What's up, BI? This is Will from The Athletic. Just what do you think about the late game offense, especially late in the fourth quarter, and just the shots y'all were able to get?
I got some good shots. I think Zion and the guys at the rim got some really, really good shots. I just got to knock them shots that I've done in my routine. Maybe guys were open on some of those shots, and I can go back and look at the film and do something better the next day. But I felt good in my shots. I felt good about the team, the shots they got. I just got to do a better job at closing.
Hi, Brandon. This is Ollie with the Bird Rights. Was this as discouraging of a loss as you've had in some time, considering you guys really came back and got up, 10, 12 points in the fourth quarter, then seemingly everything went bad over the last minute or so of the game?
I hope not. I'm not discouraged. I'm sure our team is discouraged. We practice and play hard every single day. We know at the end of the day, it's another game. Anybody can win or lose on any given night. So we believe in our guys. We're not discouraged. We're ready for the next test.
Hey, Christian Clark with Null.com. You were pretty close to the 40-minute mark there. I mean, how did just like the wind, I guess, like the conditioning level feel at the end of the game?
Like I said, at the end of the fourth quarter, I had some on the defensive end. I shouldered a little. I was a little tired. People hit a long 3. Miles Turner hit a 3 in the middle, in the middle of the floor. But I can't make it. I can't make that excuse. I was a little tired, but I could have been there at my spots a little harder.
BI, it's Scott from NOLA.com. Can you just walk us through kind of what you remember of that last sequence where they hit the 3 to tie? It seemed like, JJ had the ball, then kind of fumbled it, and Lonzo picked it up. No one kind of knew what was going on, and everyone was a little late to scramble back. How did that kind of unfold in your memory?
I'm not sure. I got to go back and look at the film, but I know I should have. To make that a little bit easier for coach not to take the blame, I could have just went and got the basketball and just cleared everybody out. And it just would have been handled. I'm not sure what I remember on that play, but I know what I could have.
What's up, BI? This is Will again. Coach mentioned that he felt like you guys slipped a little bit the past 2 games defensively, especially protecting the paint. What do you got to do just to improve that?
Well, we just got to take away the paint. That's our main defense. That's what we talk about every single day, just taking away the paint and then closing out on 3s. So we just go back tomorrow and just have that in our head, whether we practice hard or not, and just have that in our heads for the next 2 games at home before we go on this road trip.
This is David again. One of the things Coach also said is that you guys have had some trouble converting your second opportunities offensively. How do you get that in back in line and take advantage of that, because you guys do such a great job of creating those, especially Steven and Zion, obviously. But you have to obviously you need to convert more of those.
We have 2 really, really good offensive rebounders on the floor with Zion and Steve. They're going to make those plays. They're going to rebound the basketball, put it back up, make the right play to kick it out or whatever they want to do. We believe in those guys. Everything is going to happen with experience as we continue to go practice every day, we'll get better.
We're all set. Thanks, Brendan.
All right, yo.
Y'all can raise your hands for Lonzo. Christian, you can go ahead.
Hey, Lonzo, Christian Clark with NOLA.com. I mean, not just like, that one sequence, but like the offensive as a whole late in the game. What are you just seeing right now? I mean, generally speaking, are you getting looks that you like?
I think we just need to get some more movement. We got the ball in hands who we want to with BI. I think we just need to move around for him and space it out a little bit more.
Yeah, what's up, Lonzo? This is Will from The Athletic. Can you just walk us through that last play in the fourth quarter, the inbound play where they ended up stealing the ball? Just what did you see and what happened there?
Probably should have just called the timeout, but I got it into JJ, and then he got tripped or whatever, and then he passed it to me, and I lost the ball, and then it was basically a 2-on-1 with Miles Turner and Victor Oladipo, and I chose Oladipo, and Miles hit the three.
Christian Clark again. I know. We're very early into this thing. You guys had a shortened training camp, but what would you just describe the rhythm level offensively at this point in the season?
I just think we got to just keep playing hard and generating good shots. We got guys that can put the ball in the basket. I think it's just about getting easier looks and making them, when the ball gets swung to you.
What's up, Zo? This is Will again. What do you guys have to do to kind of help BI out in some of them late game situations where it isn't so much ISO ball dependent on him kind of to create everything there late down the stretch?
Like I said, it comes with movement, just really spacing the floor, maybe getting the ball, having him get some catch and shoots instead of him always going one-on-one.
All right, we're all set. Thanks, Lonzo.